So I realize commuting might be an odd thing to be passionate about, but a couple years ago I switched to mass transit, and I've actually loved the things I've been learning the last couple years, so I just wanted to share a couple of those things with you good people. I actually switched for both altruistic reasons and selfish ones. I did feel guilty that I was contributing to the brown haze on our city some days, but I also was surprised at how much money I could save if I did switch. And the interesting thing to me was that just in making that life change, some huge, the way I thought about bigger ideas like time and space and the people around me started to shift. Time specifically, I had to think about differently because when you drive to work, you're very much in control, well, sort of. And with mass transit, you have to learn like the rhythm of the system and sync up to that rhythm. Plus, it actually takes a little bit more time to do that. But that's okay because there's a lot of things you can do while you're commuting. My favorite being working and napping and lucid dreaming, all things that you cannot do while you're driving. I also realized that just giving that control up was diminishing my inner control freak, as well as providing like these random adventures, my favorite being this awesome conversation I had with this old Navajo man when my bus didn't show up for an hour. So I just try to look at it like that positively. I also realized that mass transit gave me time every day where I could just close my eyes and be silent. And after doing that for about a year, I was realizing that I was finding amazing things in those silences, like tapping into some deeper creativity that I'd never had known before. Space was another issue that changed for me. I realized when I was driving to work every day, I felt like I was living in a box, commuting in a smaller box to get to my next box. And it was funny because the movies I was watching at the time and some blogs I was reading, and actually the Sick Puppies music video for Free Hugs was kind of shining some light on my like just feeling disconnected from people in general. So I made the leap and I decided to commute outside my box and share space with a bunch of people I didn't know. And what I realized was I was meeting like these amazing people in random circumstances, as well as getting a chance every day to practice just reading body language. Because you see on the bus, everybody's like broadcasting the signal and you have to respect the signal, right? And I realized it was just my inner intuition with people started to grow a little bit. And I think it was just because I was practicing it every day. I also had to think differently about people. When I first moved here from this small town, I was really stressed out about traffic, and I couldn't believe that you saw an accident pretty much every day. And then I started reading some ideas from my favorite author, Brennan Manning, who said, hey, look at the people around you and embrace what you have in common. And so all of a sudden, all this traffic became my people, and we spent every morning together with the same goal. And so I took that idea with me when I switched to mass transit, and I looked at the person next to me, whether it was a nuclear physicist or a homeless person, and I embraced what we had in common, and I realized what that was doing was really opening me up to what I could learn from that person. And I also realized that kindness like ripples, the way the energy ripples. I remember this day when the recession just hit and we were all tense and we're standing up going home, and you could just feel like the fear mode everybody was in, and there was a guy behind me whistling this soothing melody, and it was just like his piece was just like rippling to the rest of us and soothing us. So those are just a couple things that I've learned in the last couple of years, which actually leads me to some questions that I have now as far as what would happen to us if we collectively made some shifts. Like what would happen to our collective creativity and problem solving if we made space for ourselves just to be silent and marinate in thoughts, especially in our media-rich culture that we live in. I also wonder what would happen to us if we collectively got away from our technology and were intentional about doing some FaceTime with people and try harder to read body language and be more intuitive. Like, would our collective intuition actually grow? And I also wondered, like, what would our city feel like if we looked at the stranger next to us and embraced what we had in common and were open to what we could give to the person next to us? So I want to end with this thought by Alan Kay, because I think it's so empowering that we actually get to co-create our environments And I personally believe if we collectively made these small shifts, we would create like a deeper sense of connectedness as well as a kinder city and bluer skies.